Or options to supersize your business now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. We are focusing on mental health all this month as part of Supersize Your Business, as well as the Be a Better You Annual Challenge. Because guess what? When you're a better version of yourself, it's easier to supersize and grow your business. And so we're applying it both to ourselves as individuals, founders, business owners, leaders in our organizations, as well as to our businesses specifically. Well, we're going through the ideas process. Our ideas process is the process we came up with in January to help us to have tools in our toolbox to deal with the challenges that come up as we're building and growing and supersizing our business. And we're on step 3 today, E for explore options. Yesterday, we identified our desired state. The day before that, we said, okay, where are we right now with respect to mental health and well-being in our organization? And we were brutally honest with ourselves. So we know where we are now and where we want to be. Well, that creates this gap. And in order to fill that gap, we have to say, okay, what are we going to do to get from where we are to where we want to be? And we do that by brainstorming different possibilities, different actions we can take, different options, different things to explore, different modalities or tools to use in our organization to improve mental health and well-being in the area that we are focusing on for this challenge, as well, this 7-day ideas process, as well as till the end of the year. We're setting a goal that we want to achieve with respect to our cultural change, mental health and well-being in a specific area we want to achieve by the end of the year. I like to share what I call the 10-3-1 tool. I do this in the SOAP framework. I do this in the ideas process because it's such a powerful tool. We brainstorm at least 10 possible ways to fill that gap or start filling that gap. We seldom, if ever, take an action and then it gets us all the way to where we want to be. We usually have to do a series of things because change is a process, and every process requires more than one step. If it was just one step, then it's not a process. It's just an action. So what is the process going to be for us as we're achieving our goal and objective? Well, we want to brainstorm at least 10 things. I always go for at least 25 personally, but I don't want it to be too hard for people. So I say make it 10. 10 things. Why? It gets us over that hump of impossibility thinking that many of us have, where we think either this or that has to happen or it's the end of the world, right? Or this or that are our only two options to choose among. By forcing ourselves to come up with multiple ideas, and usually there's a big flood of inspiration after 10, but get to 10 for sure, 10 different possible ways to start filling that gap. And it can be things like journaling, meditation, whatever works. It can be put a group together in your organization to improve mental health in this area. Have a team that's focusing on this, just maybe a short-term team to set up the process and the strategies for improving mental health in your organization, or even paying attention to it, or acknowledging that it exists, that there's stress in your organization, or that there's some dysfunctional behavior in your organization. Guess what? We all have them, no matter how hard we try to bring in the right people and put the right people together and screen. Stuff changes and people change, and at some point things are not a fit any longer, and it's usually a little beyond the time that everybody knows it's not a fit before action is taken to make things happen, at least on an organizational level. All right, so what are we doing today? We are brainstorming 10 ways to fill the gap between where we are and where we want to be with respect to this area of mental health in our business. I shared in the Be a Better You Annual Challenge a bunch of ways that 3 different people did it. And I shared some of their things, meditation, journaling, affirmations, counseling, taking a course, reading a book. There's so many things that we can do that will give us ideas of the actions we can take to fill that gap, or systems we can put in place to improve mental health and well-being in our organizations. So love to hear some of your possible actions. Share in the comments below so we can learn from one another. Otherwise, make sure you do this today because we're going to deal with these options tomorrow. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow. Have an amazing day.